It's 8 a.m. Agenda nesa wakalo. Yesi nutujo. MTN Momo Pay. Ichikak star. Idopeti kanyapi kanyi star. Uni hash. Arai mam. Itosoma Momo app. Anuje gwele tiboro. Arai tacha. Opona le patana. Oyuara. MTN Momo Pay. Yesi raika titai. MTN Mobile Money. Yesi Money Bank of Uganda.
Voice of Teso News.
Looming hunger worries Bukedia leaders. Cattle rustling complicated and commercialized. RDC speaks out. Kapilebyong cries out over depriving infrastructure affecting education. Kabaka Mutebi warns subjects of threats against Buganda Kingdom. Elsewhere, evacuated French and European nationals arrive in Paris. In business, women in Kumi encouraged to ride Boda Boda. And Sadio Mane joins Cristiano Ronaldo at El Nassr. Good morning, listener, and welcome to Voice of Teso Radio News Desk at 8 a.m. The news read to you by Jonah Osike Akello. Leaders in Bukedia district are in panic as looming hunger hits many sub-counties in the district. Among the most hit sub-counties include Ukangole, Kabarwa, Malera, Kolira, and Minit sub-counties. Helen Grace Tino, the district councillor representing women of Malera and Kangole, who doubles as the secretary for production, says the majority of the families now survive with one meal a day. The resident district commissioner, Katakwi Major Retired Godfrey Katamba, has described the current cattle rustling in the district as complicated and commercialized with the involvement of many actors that stimulate the vice. Katamba, while speaking to our reporter, partly apportioned blame to some cattle traders, boda riders and LCs, together with collaborators and veterinary officers for aiding the process.
The cattle rustling has become commercialized. It has a lot of actors in the equation. So therefore, when you are to look at the problem of cattle rustling, don't look at a rustler alone. Look at even the collaborator. Look at the person enablers. Cattle rustling enablers. That's where I bring in the cattle rather the border riders. Then that's why I also look at people to do with the businessmen, cattle traders who buy these cattle at a giveaway price, and therefore that motivates the cattle rustlers and LCs who sell documents, movement permit documents, simply to gain money. Their intention is on economic gain than on restricting the device itself. So therefore, I would wish to inform you that rustling, where it is beyond the government alone.
He, however, notes that they have tried their best to arrest the situation and calls upon the collaborators to desist from the act so as to avert the cattle rustling vice.
I would wish to inform you that the turnaround time of cattle rustlers from Karamoja to Teso areas to raid has reduced tremendously. You find that in a day, these cattle rustlers can steal twice. Before, they used to take 3 days while trekking from Karamoja to raid in Teso. But this time, they are inserted at the target area where they are to raid, and I therefore call upon the collaborators, the cattle traders, and those borders to look at whoever you are carrying, and therefore desist from carrying suspicious people on the road. We have arrested many when it comes to cattle traders and collaborators this side. So therefore, they are induced, the Koromojongo rustlers are induced by our own indigenous people.
The district chairperson Kapilebyong Francis Akorikin has decried pressing factors hindering effective education service delivery in the district. Akorikin notes that infrastructure like desks are limited as the district has only 600 sitting desks out of the expected 3,000, leaving a huge number of learners sitting on the ground. He cited factors like low staffing, shortage of classrooms, which has left many learners like in a Motom primary school studying under trees, and yet he has only 60 million shillings this year to construct classrooms, which is meager compared to the works at hand. Away from that, Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II, the Kabaka of Buganda Kingdom, has issued a warning to his subjects about the enemies of the kingdom and urged them to exercise carefulness. During the celebrations commemorating his 30th coronation anniversary at Mengo Palace, the Kabaka urged his subjects not to let their guard down. He emphasized that there are many individuals who are opposed to the kingdom. In addition, he called on his subjects to refrain from double standards when it comes to matters related to the kingdom. Furthermore, the Kabaka challenged the youth to play a vital role in the development of the kingdom rather than seeking menial jobs abroad. He stressed that those who facilitate Ugandans seeking work abroad do not have the best interest of the people in mind, urging Ugandans to avoid such individuals. Additionally, he reminded the government of its obligation to return some of the kingdom's property as promised.
International news.
The first French flight evacuating Europeans from Niger has arrived in Paris with 262 people on board. France began evacuating its citizens from Niger amid anti-French sentiment following last week's coup. The coup has prompted demonstrations against the former colonial power, with the French embassy coming under attack. However, France says it has no plans to repatriate about 1,000 French soldiers stationed there as part of efforts to counter Islamist militants. Germany has urged its nationals to take up France's offer to help other Europeans, and Italy is also organizing a flight. It comes as the junta in Burkina Faso and Mali warned that any forcible attempt to restore the ousted president would be seen as a declaration of war.
Business news.
Women in Kumi and Teso have been encouraged to ride boda boda as a means of fighting poverty. Speaking to Voice of Teso in an interview during the opening of the Boda Boda Association in Kanapa Sub-County, Sarah Lupo, one of the boda boda women, says it has helped her. Christine Apolot, the woman member of parliament for Kumi district, challenges the boda boda riders to remain united in groups so as to achieve development through government programs. However, Philemon Egiet, the chairperson Kanapa Boda Boda Riders, says their objectives are geared towards development, as he cautions his colleagues against bad behaviors at work.
That was the business news on Voice of Teso. The sports news.
And in sports, Al Nassr have confirmed the signing of Sadio Mane for £34 million, bringing the Senegal Stars' disastrous spell at Bayern Munich to an end. Mane, 31, will join up with Cristiano Ronaldo's side in the Saudi Pro League, with Al Nassr having already added the likes of Seko Fofana, Marcelo Brozovic and Alex Telles this summer. The forward only moved to Bayern for £35 million last year, but struggled to settle in Germany and scored just 12 goals for the club, while he also had a high-profile falling out with teammate Leroy Sané. Mane now becomes the latest in a long line of top talents from Europe's top 5 leagues to make the switch to Saudi Arabia, with the 31-year-old set to pocket a staggering £34 million a year, equivalent of £650,000 a week. And that was the news. An announcement up next.
And that was Voice of Teso News.